Hello, welcome to this training session of the Timesheet application. I hope you're all doing well. Let me start with the installation of the Timesheet application, how to set up the application first. To install the application, first we visit the site biomaxcloud.in. Here we will find a download link of the Timesheet application. It's in the Timesheet web. We click on download. So I have already downloaded the Timesheet application. And this is the file. Now we need to set up the timesheet application into the IIS server. So we use inet mgr to open the IIS server. Here we click add website into the side menu. To add a new website, we provide the name of the website. Then we give the physical path of the application. You can directly click on the link here. Just go to the path and set as OK. Provide the port of the application. For example, 83. And click on OK. Your site will get created. I have already created one site with the name of timesheet. I'll click on browse button to open the site. It will get loaded into your default browser. So we have hosted our application. So next step is we need to do database setting here. So there's a link button. When you click on database setting, a new window will pop up where you need to define your database setting. So the first one is database type. So which kind of database server you are using. So currently Timesheet will support SQL Server and MySQL. So we will select SQL Server and we will provide database server name and what is the name of the database and the SQL authentication. If it's an Windows authentication or using SQL authentication, you need to connect the database. So currently we will connect with SQL Server authentication. We will provide the username and the password. Before doing this, first we need to set up our database setting. So we can download same database script from the site biomaxcloud.in. Here is a link to download script file. You will find two files here. One is for timesheet SQL Server script. One is MySQL script. You can go into SQL Server, click on database, right click on database. There will be an option of new database. Click on that. Provide the name of the database. For example, timesheet. Click on OK. So your blank DB will get set up. Click on select the database and click on new query. Drag and drop your SQL Server script. It will get loaded here. Before running the script, please make sure that your schema is selected. Once you select your schema, just execute the script. It will give a success message of the database has been created and executed. You can re-verify by refreshing your tables. You can see all the tables have been created. Respective data has been dumped. So I have given now. When we go back to our application, we have given database name. We have given authentication, the username and the password. We will test the connection first, whether the database is connected the application or not. So it's given me the success message of connection established. I will re-enter the password and save the database. Once I save the database, the default login and password will be BioMax. BioMax. So it will load your screen. It will So now we learn how to host the application and connect with the database. So what's the use of the timesheet? So first we need to understand what's the purpose of using the timesheet. Timesheet is an HRMS application. It's a part of an HRMS application, uh, basically for attendance generation purpose, connected with the biometric machines. So now we have already done the hosting. So we have application hosted in our server where we can, with the default values, I'll just connect. So once you log into the application, you will find a dashboard here with the details of how many employees are already registered in the software, how many biometrics are registered in the application, and what are the current date logs, how much logs exist in the current date, and which are the employees on leave. You can see the counts here, and in below you can find online biometric list and the offline biometric list. So currently there are two devices connected with the application. First, we will understand how to connect the biometric machine with the application to get all the logs, the users from the device. So we can move to biometric management, enter into the biometric. Here we can add the biometric, add a new biometric. You can provide the name of the biometric, the device code, and the serial number of the biometric, the cloud ID, the IP address of the biometric, and the direction. Direction is basically we use for when we export the data. So the data will be on the direction base. And what's the purpose of the biometric? It's for attendance purpose, it's only for accessing, or it's for cafeteria management. You can provide mail ID, email address. So whenever the device goes offline, you can trigger a mail to get the notification this biometric is offline. So once you given all the details and save, you can find the list. In the device, you have to provide server IP and port to connect the biometric with the software. For example, this is the server IP with the port you have to provide the biometric. So once you have given properly, the device will show online. Then you can use commands, right click and use the commands for getting all the users, for getting all the log records, for syncing the time with the server. If you have any admin you have created in the biometric, you can trigger a command to clear all the admin in the device. There is another option, clear ATT logs, where you can clear all the existing swipe records in the device. There is another command, set admin, where you can select particular users and make them as admin in the device. There is a link button, view users in biometrics. So this will show you a list of users available in the device. So these are the users already available in the device. You can see what kind of privilege they have. They are the normal user or they are the admin. You can see their fingerprint count, how much fingers are enrolled, if they have given any password or they have any face registered, or you can see the card number if registered, and you can modify the card number, name, the privilege, and you can re-upload the user into the device. There are few details shown in the device. We can see how many users are enrolled in the device. We can show how many fingers are enrolled in the device, and we can see how many swipe records have been done in the device. We have swipe records list where we can see in swipe records we can see the punches of the user. So when the user got punched, in which biometric they have done the punch, we can see the list here. We have another functionality, upload users. If I need to transfer, if I need to upload one user from one device to another device, I use this functionality. I need to just select the device and the user which I need to transfer. For example, I choose one, and what kind of details I need to transfer, that I need to select fingerprint, face, card, photo, and I click on finish. So a command will get triggered that I can see in biometric commands, like upload user. This is my biometric. I'm uploading user one into the biometric, and here I can see the status of that user has been registered into the device, have been transferred to the device. Once the user get transferred, so he can do the punches there. Same as upload, we have another function, delete users. If I need to delete a user in the device, so I need to select the biometric for which I need to delete the user. Then I need to select which user I need to delete. So once I select the detail, the user will get deleted from the device. We have another function, set user expiration. In this menu, we can select a particular date. Between date, the user can punch. So once the date, so here, for example, if I select from 1st April till 15th April, the employee can do the punches. Beyond that, he will not have access to punch. So I can trigger the expiration rule here. I can give a command to the device. There is one more feature, online user enrollment in the biometric, where if I need to enroll a user, suppose I have a device K30 which is enrolled with an admin lock and I don't have an access to the biometric. I need to enroll a new user. I cannot directly enroll that user in the device. So we have an option in the software, online user enrollment. So where we can select the device and select which user we need to use, which user we need to do online enrollment. So we can select that user and what will be the index of the finger. So we can select that, and when we click on finish, a command will go to the biometric and it will pop up a enrollment screen where the user can enroll his fingers even if the device is locked with the admin. In biometric commands, we can see all the commands which have been transferred to the device. What are the commands given to the biometric? We can we have another functionality, parallel log export, where we can parallelly transfer the data into a parallel database. We need to provide the parallel setting here. We need to provide the server type. Basically, we are doing here the database setting here of the third party database. So we can select the server type, the database server name. We need to provide what kind of authentication it is. We need to provide the database name. If I'm using SQL Server authentication, then I need to provide the username and password. Then I need to click parallel export. So do I need to export parallel? And once I'm done with the connection, then I need to set my parallel setting here, the structure of the parallel. I need to provide the table name. For example, if I show you, if I have a parallel DB with the structure like staff bio, for example, my table name is parallel, for example. So here I need to fill like my DB name is parallel, and I need to give my staff biometric code. So this will be the name of this is my column name, which I need to map with the staff biometric code, and one state time, which will be it will consist my swipe record. And here I need to check the unique functionality, where I will won't get the duplication of the record. So once I've done my setting, I'll just save this function. So this is how we can set the parallel setting here. Once I've done this setting, whenever a new record comes from the device, the data will be transferred to the parallel DB as well. So these all the functionalities are available in biometric management. There are few more models in the application, like shift management, user management, leave management. So first we will cover with the system setup. In system setup, we have the main application setting, global settings. Here we have the application settings here, where we can we can provide head company name. We can set the minimum punch differences between two punches. We can set the leave year starts on. Basically, it's a when we create a leave, so it will be on the basis of the financial year, or it will be as calendar year. there is another setting, attendance cutoff. So it's a month cycle. So when the month cycle will start, it will start from 1 or it will start in between days. Like, so we have another function, language, where we can choose the system language, whether it's been in Arabic mode or it will be in Hindi mode. For example, if I set in Hindi and save, my system will work. Suppose if I select in Arabic mode, so my language will change to Arabic style. Same way we have grid filter options. So you can, when you're filtering in a grid, so we have options, we have many options. You can filter out what options you require. You can select and only those options will be available on the filtering. We have C of lapse. So it's a compensatory leave lapse. So when comp of balance gets created, so you can provide days here. So when that limit exits, the balance will lapse if not availed. We have ESS mail URL where you can provide the link where mail get triggered, where you can see approve decline link which get triggered. You can change the logo of the application. We have some options of enable and disabling. So we have option of auto leave credit. If it's selected, leave balance will automatically get credited as per the setting defined in the leave management. We have valid IMI number. So when we do clock in clock out in the mobile application, if it's selected, it will verify the IMI number registered in the application, and it will allow to clock in and clock out. Allow blank GPS location. So when we do mobile clock in clock out, it will first verify whether the GPS is enabled, and it will allow to punch. So there is option of auto approve the clock in clock out. So if it is false, the clock in clock out punches will not get approved automatically. First need to be verified by the manager. We have option of auto add biometric. So this option is available if I directly and if I in the device, if I provide the server IP and the port, and when the device communicates with the application, if that device is not available in the application, it will automatically add the biometric with the serial number. We have option of fingerprint authentication. So when we do clock in clock out punch, it will open an authentication of fingerprint. If authentication is successful, it will allow you to do the clock in. We have option of geofencing. Geofencing is used for when so first we need to create a location. Example, if I created default, so I need to provide the latitude and longitude of the location and what will be the radius. So radius need to be higher than 100. So once I define this location and I have allotted to the user, and if geofencing is enabled, so system will verify that the clocking has been done in the range of the location. We have another option, auto create master on import. So when we import the employee, there will be a details of branches, departments, designations, locations. So that we need to create automatically, or it need to be verified by the user first. So if auto create master on import is not enabled, then it will pop up a message, location not exist or branch not exist. The following provided the provided data is not exist in the application. We have some advanced biometric options here. So the first option is add new user biometric. So whenever we create any user in the application, that will need to be uploaded in the biometric automatically if it's enabled. We have another option, delete user in biometric when resigned or deleted. If we enable this setting, if I delete any user in the application or I resign any user, that will get deleted in the biometric as well. So the next is we can create branches. We can create branches, departments, locations, designations, employment type, and theme. It's all masters, and that can be assigned to the employee. We have attendance settings. In attendance setting, so these settings basically use it for when generating the reports. So we need to provide the attendance settings name, the code, and settings which are applicable for this. So first is single punch status. So whenever a user does a single punch, the second punch is not available. In that case, what will be the second punch? So we have options here. So the first option is in punch plus 1 minute. That means if an employee does a punch at 10 a.m. and misses the out punch, then his second punch will be 10 a.m. plus 1 minute. That is 10:01 a.m. The second option is shift end time. Shift end time, so whatever the shift he has been, so that end time will be allotted as a out punch. The another option is present. If is in single punch status, he will be directly marked as present. Same goes for half present and absent. The another setting is applicable leaves. If any employee is allotted in this category, so what leaves will be applicable for the employee? We can select here. Another setting is grace for late coming. So whenever an employee enters, it comes after the shift. So what will the grace time given by the user? Suppose if I given 15 minutes, so my shift starts at 9 o'clock. So I have given grace up to 9:15. So if he comes under 9:15, so he will not be in the late marking. Same we have grace for early going. If an employee leaves the shift before the end time, so we have another setting half day when late. So if I given if the employee is late for half an hour, so he will be directly marked as half day if he's late for half an hour. So another setting is half day when early. So if the employee leaves the organization 30 minutes before, he will be directly marked as half day. We have another setting half day present for less duration. If the employee is below the duration, if I say if it's below 480 minutes, that is around, if I say below 300, that means 5 hours, then he will be marked as half present and half day for less duration. If I say if it's below 240, he will be marked as absent. If he is between 300, and 240, then he will be half present. If it's above 300, then he will be marked as present. For same, we have for partial day, half present for less duration on partial day. Partial day is basically uh, it's not a complete shift, it's not a half shift, it's in between. So for that, we can provide the same point here. So next setting is validate early punch. So if suppose if my shift starts at 9 p.m. and an employee enters before 9 p.m. So do we need to validate that punch or we need to consider the punch from 9 p.m. 9 a.m. So that we can set here. If we have enabled this, it will validate the early punch. Same goes for validate late punch. If the employee punches after the shift ends, that we need to validate the punch or we need to consider till the shift end time. If the setting is enabled, the punch will get validated. If it's not enabled, it will take up to the shift end time. Another setting is deduct break hour. In shift, we will provide break duration. That duration, do we need to deduct from the work duration? That we can enable the setting. Yeah. There is another setting is considered first and last punch. If an employee is doing 4 to 5 punches a day, do we need to calculate in between the punches or do we need to calculate the very first punch and the very last punch? That setting we can do here. If the setting is enabled, the system will calculate the very first punch and the very last punch. We have another setting, WOP and HOP in OT. So WOP is basically weekly of present and holiday present in OT. So if any employee who is working in the holiday or in the weekly off, that duration do we need to transfer into OT or it will be marked as present or absent? That setting we can enable here. If it's enabled, the duration will be in OT. Neglect last in punch. If this setting is enabled, there if I have done 5 punches in a day, so my last punch is basically the in punch that will get terminated. Now we move on to the additional settings. Here we have OT and weekly off setting. We can provide OT formula here. So if it's by default, it's selected to not applicable. If the first setting is total duration minus shift hours. So suppose my shift start at 9 a.m. and ends at 6 p.m. and the employee came at Suppose my shift timing is 9 p.m. to 18 and 6 p.m. and my punch timing is between 8 to 7 p.m. Then this is my shift duration. My shift duration is, suppose it's 8 hours, 9 hours. Okay. And my total duration is 11 hours. So when this is my total duration, this is my shift duration. If we deduct total duration minus shift and time, it will give me my OT as 2 hours. So the next setting is outpunch minus shift and time. So this is my outpunch, this is my shift and time. So in between this duration, that will be my OT. So another setting is early coming plus late going. That will be my early coming. So it will be 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. That will be my early coming duration. And 18 to 19 will be my late going duration. So if I combine both, I'll get my OT duration. Another set for OT, we can set the minimum OT. So how much will be the minimum OT for an employee? If I set 30, so OT cannot be below 30 minutes. We can set max OT. We can set as 240 if so my OT cannot be beyond 240. Another setting, default OT. Here, if you have given OT value, suppose I have given 120, means 2 hours. So this will be default OT even if the user haven't done any OT. Another setting is default minimum WHOT, minimum OT in weekly off and holiday. So if I have given 30, so it cannot be below 30. It cannot be below 30. The OT cannot be below 30 minutes. There is another setting, no OT on out of station. So if it's enabled, so the OT done in the out of station OD entry will not be applicable. We can set the weekly off, the first weekly off. If we have second weekly off, we can set the second weekly off, and we can select on which weeks we have a second week off. We have comp off setting, where you can set the auto comp off setting. If it's enabled, comp off will be credited as defined So the first setting is half comp off for less duration. If my duration is below 60 minutes, then it will give me half day comp off. No comp off for less duration. If my duration is less than 30 minutes, then I won't get any comp off. This will be applicable only for weekly off and holiday. These settings will be applicable only for weekly off and holiday. And we have another setting, half day comp off for less OT. If my OT is below 60 minutes, then it will be half day comp off will get credited. No comp off for less OT. So no C off balance will get credited to the employee if it's below 30 minutes. These are the basic settings of the applications. We will move to the shift management, how to create the shift and how to allot the shift to the employee. In shift management, we have option of shift where we can create the shift. Need to click on add new shift. In the shift, we have two types of shift. One is a flexible shift, one is a normal shift. In flexible shift, we need to provide the duration of the shift. If you have any break duration, you can provide the break duration. In flexible shift, the shift will start when the user punch. If we will move to normal shift. In normal shift, we can provide the timing of the shift and when the shift will get started, when shift will get end. We can provide the break time, the when the break gets started, when the break get end. And we have half day. And half day, it's basically a partial day. We can select on which day is my partial day and provide the partial day timing. So my partial day is on Saturday and the shift will start on 9 a.m. and it will end at 4 p.m. We have option here, one start from. So if I have given shift start on 9, so if I have given 0, so this shift will consider the punches from 9 a.m. If I have given 120 minutes example, then shift will start at 9 p.m. but it will consider the punches from 7 a.m. And same it will work for punch and after. If my shift end time is 6 p.m. and if I given 0 minutes in end after, then shift will consider the punches till 6 p.m. If I have given 120 minutes in shift end after, then my shift will end at 6 p.m. but it will consider the punches till 8 p.m. So these are the settings we can do in shift. We can create different shift timing. We move to shift group. Here we can create a group and we can assign shift in this group. For example, shift B, GS, ES, GS1 will be applicable for this shift group, and this shift group will get allotted to the user. So the user will be only available in the following shift. We have another option, allot staff shift. Here we can define a shift to an employee for a particular day or in between the days. We can select the user. We can define on which day the selected shift will be applicable for the employee. We have option of importing the employee shift here. We can use the file format. We can provide the employee code and we can define on which day which shift will be applicable for that employee, and we can upload the same format in the following screen and click on import. Next we will move to the next model, user management. Here first we have employee. In employee master we can create new employee and we can provide following details. We can attach photo of the employee, we can provide the name of the employee, the employment code, the employee code, and the employee biometric code. This code is linked with the biometric machine. We can map the user with the branch, which branch is applicable, which department, so which is the attendance setting he is applicable for, which location he is been, the employment type, designation, team, status, whether he's working or he's been resigned, and can assign shift group here if any available. In other details, we can provide the date of birth, when he joined, when he resigned, when leave should get credited for this employee, the contact number, email address of the employee, the residential address, and here we can provide the ESS details, employee self-service details, the login name, the password, the IMI number of the employee. We can save these details and the user you can see in the following window. Here we have a link button, Start BIOS, where we can see whether this user has been enrolled with fingers. Here currently he's been enrolled with 3 fingers and 1 face. There is no photo of the employee and no card details. We have another option, Manager Master, where we can create a master group of manager we have option to create 5 levels of managers in the application. We need to first create a master detail where we can provide the master name, master code, show all approvers. Show all approvers is basically if it is true, then whenever the user apply for leave, outdoor entry, attendance regulation, then this it will be the leave will be shown to all levels of managers. If this setting is false, then only the immediate manager can see his entry, the applied entry. Once we created this master, we need to define the managers. For that, we need to go into the view manager levels. Here we can see already assigned managers in the group, the levels. If I need to create a new manager, I will go to assign manager level, select, I will need to select the level of the manager, select the manager, and here is a checkbox, high level approver. If this is enabled, then this manager can directly approve or decline the leave, outdoor entry, or attendance regulation applied by the user. Here I can create levels of manager. I can see level 2, level 3 managers, or if there is level 4 managers. We have another function, staff transfer. If any employee get transferred from one location to another or from one branch to another, we need to we can maintain that record in the following panel. We can provide when he got transferred, from date and till date, which branch he's been transferred, which department, the location, the employment type, and the designation. We can select the user. We can save those details. In future, we can see the record as per the transfer details. We can import the staff details with the following format given in the application. We can fill those details and we can import the file. We have option of export the employee, where we can modify the user detail. And import. Okay. These are all available in user management. Next, we will move to leave management module. Here we can create the leave types. Here we can provide the leave type name, the leave type code, and for which gender it will be applicable. It will be applicable for all gender, or it's for particular female, or this leave is only belong for male employees. So we can move to leave allotment setting. So the leave, how the leave should be allotted, it's by yearly or it's by monthly. So if, and what is the start, so when this leave should get credited, so that date we need to provide here. Credit limit, so here we can provide the limit of the balance. In credit limit we can define how much balance we need to credit to the employee. We have option of prorated. If this setting is enabled and any employee who join in between, if he joins, suppose if my leave calendar day starts from January and I have selected prorated enable. If any new joinee who joins the organization in between the calendar year, for example, if you join on April, but leave already got credited on January, so the overall balance will not get credited to the employee. So we will calculate how much balance we need to create to the employee. So first we will identify per day how many, what will be the leave balance for every day. So that will be 655 days divided by whatever the balance I have given in my credit limit. So that will be my per day leave. And I need to create that per day leave to the remaining days of the employee, remaining working days of the employee. The next setting is allow negative balance. So if I enable this setting, even if the balance is 0 for the employee, he can apply to a certain limit of the provided in the leave type. The max negative balance, so he can apply till maximum balance he can. Next, we will move to the additional settings. Here we have applicable leave status. So this leave can be applied for full day or half day. We can set here. If I set full day, this leave can be applied only for full day. It cannot be applied for half day. We have max takes leave per year. So what will the maximum leave an employee can take per year? If I have given balance of 20, and I have given 15 here, so he can take up to 15 leave per year. Max take leave per month. What will be it will be the limit per month. If I have given 2, so only in a month he can apply for 2 days. He can apply the leave. The next option is max take leave at once. For how many days he can apply a leave at a single time. If I have given 3, he can apply up to 3 days max. It cannot be continuation of 4 days. Next setting is minimum gap between 2 leaves. So how many days gap should be there when they will reapply for another leave? If I have given 2, there has to be a minimum gap between 2 days of. Once we created this leave type here, we can see the summary of the balance by employee. We can see the opening balance of the employee. We can see how many leave the employee has been taken, the balance remaining as per the leave type. We can see the credit history when the employee got credited the balance. We have option of leave entries. Here we can assign we can create leave entries for the employee. We can select the leave type, from which date to which date we need to apply for the leave. What will be the leave status? It's a full day or it's a half day. So this leave is approved or it's pending. We have outdoor entry. We can create outdoor entry here. We can provide the date, the type of outdoor, and the timing of the outdoor for the respective employees. We can import the leave balance of the employees. We have option to import the leave entries in the specified format. Same for we have outdoor. We have option to import outdoor entries. We can export the leave entries in the Excel format between the selected date. So this is we have leave management. Now we will move to the additional options of the software. We have task manager where we can specify if we need to export the raw data of the biometrics into a particular format. We can set the setting here, the swipe log export. We can make it true. We can provide the path where we need to export the file. We can provide the prefix file name. We can set the file date, the format of the file name. We can use a separator in the file name. Then we can specify the suffix file name, whether it will be by serial number or it will be by machine ID or by biometric code. We can provide data separator. Data need to be comma separated or dot or space or tab. We can provide it will be on interval basis the export when so the ex so how we need to export the file, it can be interval, it can be by interval or it can be by schedule. And what will be the extension of the file, whether it is txt or it is dat or it is csv. Once we have set this setting in task manager, we need to provide the format of the file that we can set in set or export swipe log. Here we can set the format in the group. So what will be the field 1? If I say field 1 is my staff biometric code, the number of character in staff biometric code will be up to 8. And I can specify the header of the field. So we have different kinds of option to set here. Like we have staff biometric code, staff name. You can set punch, date, time, biometric code, biometric location, direction. You can set machine ID, IP address, surface. So we have up to 9 field where we can set the format. There is one option is only first and last punch. So if this setting is enabled, it will ignore all the middle punches and it will include only the very first punch and the very last punch in the file. Show header. If this setting is enabled in the file, you can see the headers as well. Same as well, we have process log export as so. Process log export is basically the process data of the user, the in time, out time, or the OT, where we can set the format in set or export process log. Here we can define what fields we require while exporting the data. We can set the format, we can arrange in the order. And provide the export path, the prefix file name, and the format of the file name. So the separator of the file, it will be comma separated, the data. and the extension. It will be a CSV file or DAT file or XLS file. These local files we can also export in the FTP. We need to select is upload. We need to provide the FTP path. If it's swipe record export. If it is process log export, then we need to provide the process export path. Provide the FTP username, password if available. And we have option to upload SFTP, secure file transfer option as well. We can just, for that we need to provide the host name of the SFTP and on port. We have option to send the SMS as well. We have 3 SMS options. One is no punch, basically absent. Another is present, basically. And another one is all punches. So no punch and present will work on schedule basis, and all punches will be working in interval base. And the format we can set in admin panel system settings. In SMS, we have 2 options, whether we can provide a particular URL of the SMS and send through a normal SMS, or we can use push notification where we can install the timesheet app and a notification will get triggered if there is any new punch, or if in this SMS setting we can provide the template. For no punch SMS text, we can provide the templates as follows. For example, it's like staff $staff biometric code. This will get replaced when employee has no punches, absent on the date. So which date he was absent. These are the replicate terms which are used. We have option for sending emails as well. We can send the offline biometric mail. If enabled, we can provide the interval time and the mail ID provided in the biometric. If the device goes offline in every provided interval, the system will check whether the device is online or it's offline. If the device goes offline, a mail will get triggered to the provided mail ID. The mail ID we can specify in biometric, the provided mail ID. This mail will get triggered to the provided email address in the biometric. For this, we can set the template, the mail content in admin panel, that is mail content. In offline biometric, we can set the subject of the notification and the body content of the notification. To same for same, we have other mail contents, like we can set for late entered. Late entered, we can set the subject, the body content for the reporting manager, if any. For early departure mails, for absent mails, or for complete process data mail. Those emails can be enabled from here. If I select late entered, so only late entry record will get triggered either to the employee, or if it is selected to reporting manager, then system will trigger the mail to the employee and as well as to his reporting manager. If any mail ID is provided in the selected mail IDs, then the late entered email will only get triggered to the provided mail ID. Same email options, we have early departure, the absent, and the process data. In early department, the mail will get triggered only for those who gone early, and for absent, mail will get triggered only for absentees. Process data, it will send complete record of all the users either to the selected mail IDs or to their respective reporting managers, including to the employees. When we trigger this mail, we need to set the format of the mail as well. That we can set in set or export process log. The format which we have already checked. The format set in this screen, the same format will get triggered in the mail. Next, we will move to the reports. In reports, we have different kinds of report, that is daily basic report, detailed report, or daily detailed employee wise, status report, monthly basic, detailed summary report, duration, OT summary. We have different kinds of report. So if in daily basic report, I need to select from which date to which date I need to generate the report. If I have any filter, if I need to generate for some particular branch or department or for a particular user, I can filter those entries here. And there is a checkbox here, calculate process data. This option is basically when we enable this, so this will collect all the data of the user. It's the attendance setting, the swipe records, leave entries, outdoor entries, all the entries it will collect and it will process as per the attendance setting provided for the employee. When I click on the generate, it will first process the data, it will calculate the data, then it will please wait for some time. It will take time to calculate the data. So once the data is calculated, it will open a report. It will There will be a pop-up block, so please allow pop-up. Open a report, the new window. So this will be the format of the report. The report can be grouped by either by department or by location or by attendance setting, and we have the option of sorting. Either it can be sorted by employee code or by employee name. So here we can see what's the kind of report, the generated date, for which branch it is, and currently we have grouped by department. So it is, we can see the department group, then we can see the employee list. In this we have process date. This is the shift code, the in time, the out time, the work duration. You can see the total duration, overtime, and the status, remarks, if any. We have daily detailed report with extra details. This is detailed report. Here we can see the shift code, shift start time, when the shift ended, the arrival time, the in time, the out time. You can see the duration, the work duration, the total duration, the overtime, the late time, the early, status, and the punch records. Same way, we have many reports, employee-wise detailed. We have monthly detailed report. This is the format. Here we can see this is monthly detailed report. We can see employee code, the employee name, and the generated date from day to last date. Here we can see the total description of the data, like total present, total absent, total leave taken, total weekly off or holiday present, the total duration, the total overtime, total late by. You can see the shift, the in time of the employee, out time of the employee, late, early. Same way we have many other reports. Let's move to the cafeteria management. In cafeteria management, we can create cafeteria items. Cafeteria item. When we add a cafeteria item, we can provide the name of the item. We can provide the item code, the work code of the item, which is mapped with the biometric, and we can provide the begin time and the end time. For example, if I created breakfast, then my begin time and end time will be 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. So I can create cafeteria item in the items menu. Then I'll move to food category. In food category, I can create a category, can provide a name and how this category will be worked. It will be processed by either work code or it will be item timing. If it's selected by work code, then in the biometric, when we do the swipe in, swipe out, we need to select the work code. And once we created the food category, we need to allot the items to the category. We need to select view allot items. There we can see the items allotted. So here I need to first select the item, then I need to provide the staff contribution, the employer contribution. Then I need to click on add. So the item will be added in the following category. Currently, we have 4 items added in the standard category. This food category, we need to allot in for the employee. For that, we need to go into the employee Either we can edit the employee in classify detail. We have the option of food category, and we can provide which category this employee belongs. We can save the detail here. Or I can right click in the employee and I can update the food category by selecting in the list, in the update panel. Once we have done this setting, then we can generate the reports for the cafeteria management. But to generate the cafeteria detail, the biometric, we need to select the biometric for option as cafeteria for generating the cafeteria data. Once I select the biometric for as cafeteria, then this biometric will only get used for cafeteria management. This data will not get used for any other records. For example, the attendance data. For cafeteria, we have different kinds of reports: daily consumption, monthly consumption, extra consumption, the contribution, monthly contribution report, weekly of holiday consumption report, shift-wise consumption report, employee-wise consumption, daily detail consumption, summary report, monthly summary consumption report, or daily consumption summary report. So we have different kinds of report in the cafeteria management. In the below, we have provided help manual for the software, and we have REST APIs. For REST APIs, we have API manual. So currently in the software, we have the following APIs: the add biometric API, delete biometric API, fetch biometric log, upload users in biometric, delete users, fetch live users from biometric, or set expiration. So how we can access the API? In this section, we have add biometric device. Here, what kind of API it is, whether it's post method or get method. We can, so the add biometric device, it's a get method. The API format is /API/web API/add biometric, and the request JSON object is serial number, which is a string. So in the below image, we have one response here. So how to access it? We need to provide the IP of the application. Currently, that is localhost 83 / then the API parameter. My serial number is, for example, it's I have given 111. When I send the when I click on send, it will provide with me a response of biometric saved successfully. The other responses might be biometric already exists if the serial number is already exists in the application. The same way we have delete biometric device where we can use the REST API to delete the biometric. We have another REST API, fetch biometric log data. It's a get method. We need to provide date, the from date, to date, and serial number of the device. If serial number is set as 0, system will understand that the user require all the data in between selected days. So the JSON result will be in the format of below. It will be a JSON array. In that array, there will be objects. The data will be user ID, where the user code will be there. The punch date time, basically the data, serial number, and punch direction. So using the REST API, we can upload the users as well. For that, we need to use the following get method, upload user in biometric, and the request JSON object will be staff name, staff biometric code, is admin, that is a boolean, serial number. If the serial number is 0, system will understand that the user need to be uploaded to the all the devices which are in the application. We have another one, delete user from biometric. Using this REST API, we can delete the user in the biometric. We need to provide staff biometric code and the serial number in the request JSON. The same way, we can fetch the live users from the biometric. For that, we need to use the API fetch live users from biometric, and we need to provide the serial number. And in this, serial number cannot be 0. We need to provide the exact serial number of the device. Then we can get the response of the user, where we can find staff biometric code, the FP count of the user, and the privilege, whether he is a user or is an admin. We have another API, set user expiration. With this API, we can set the expiration rule for the user. For that, the JSON object will be serial number, staff biometric code, and the expiration date. It will be a string with the format of YYYYMMDD. So this is the manual of REST API, where we can set into a third-party application to access the biometric machine the following available APIs. Let me show you the ESS employee self-service of the application. For that, first we need to create, we need to assign the login name and the password for the user. For that, I need to provide the login name, the password. For example, I have given one for the employee. I need to save that password. The default application, I need to provide the login name and password of the ESS. When I log in, ESS panel will be open. This is the ESS dashboard of the employee. Currently, I have logged in with a Dikshit. In the dashboard, I can see my leave summary chart where I can see how many balances are remaining. And I have attendance chart where I can see my present days, my absent, how many days I was late and early. It's for the last 30 days. And there is another card where is an option of clock in and clock out. From here, I can directly clock in and clock out. In the below, I have attendance info where I can see total number of present days, total number of my absent days, total number of leave taken on the month. For example, currently it's showing for April. So in April, how many days I was present, how many days I was absent, how many days I was on leave, and what is my average duration, what is my average late, and what is my overall OT. And below we have a calendar where I can see on which day what is my status, whether I was absent, whether I was present. I can see that in a calendar base. There is one more card, colleagues on leave. Here I can see a list of my colleagues, whether who are on leave today, who are on leave with their date. Currently there. So there is another. So now we will move to the application. In the application, we can apply for leave. The leave we can apply for leave. That is from which date to which date I need to apply a leave. For which day, which is my leave type, and what will my status, and for which reporting manager I need to trigger a mail. And even I can upload documents in the following list. And in the summary, I can see my balance, which leave type I have balance. I can view the leave summary. The below leave entries, I can see which leave type. I can see my list of leave types, applied leave types, which are not yet approved, which are approved or So at the top we have sub menus. So the first one is leave, next one is comp off. The comp off, we can apply for a comp off leave. We can select the comp off, which date we need to apply for a comp off, and on which day I was present for the comp off, for which I am applying basically for leave. And in the summary, I can see my comp off taken and balance. In the last cut, I can see my comp off entries, which are applied or approved. Another submenu is outdoor. In outdoor, I can apply for an outdoor entry. And I can see holiday list as well, the following. In outdoor entries, I can see the applied outdoor entries. Another submenu is attendance regularization. From here, I can regularize an entry. Attendance regulation is basically for when I miss the punch in the biometric, then I'll regularize a punch that will get approved by my manager. For that, I need to first select the date, the time which I need to apply, and what is my direction, whether it was I miss the in punch or I miss the out punch. We have summary option. In this summary, I can see my swipe records. I can see my process records in other submenu, where I get the list of the process state, the in time and the out time, punch records, my status. There's another menu, holiday, where I can see the list of holidays available for the selected year. If I am a manager, I can see another tab of my team, where I can see the list of my team. It will show me the list here. It will show me the pending approval count, basically how many leaves are pending which are not yet approved, the outdoor entries, the regularization entries which are yet to be approved, and I can see the average performance of the last 30 days, my overall employee present percentage, the absent percentage, late, early, leave, and overtime. So in this, I can see my report is attendance chart of the last 30 days. So I can see out of this much employee, they were present. You can see the absent, late, or early as per the date. In my team, I can either apply a leave for my employee. This report is leave. I can search the name of my reportee and apply a leave on behalf of that employee. There is another submenu, pending approvals, where I can see the applied leaves, outdoor entries, or attendance entries in this grid, and I can select those entries and can approve or decline those selected entries. I have another option of report is leave entries where I can see the applied or applied leave entries of the employees. I have option of leave summary. I can see my employees leave balance. Have option of outdoor entries of the reportees. Here I can see the list of outdoor entries of my reportees. Same as attendance records, I can see the records of my reportees. I have option of attendance summary of my reportees. I can see the chart like for this month, how much he is present, how much he was absent, how much days he was for on late coming or for early going. I can see the swipe records of my reportees. If I need to modify my profile, I can modify my email address, contact name, and residential address in the profile menu. I can change my password by providing my current password with the new password. So this was the demo for the timesheet. I hope you understand the concept which I try to explain. For any queries or any issues, please drop us a mail. So we will end this session. Thank you for joining us. I hope I try to resolve your issue.